What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Mr. Sly in here, and today we've got breaking news. Dele Farotimi, a Nigerian human rights lawyer, has just been arrested, or was arrested yesterday, on the basis of defamation. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a human rights lawyer, activist, and might also add someone who was solidly behind Peter Obi. Keep that in mind as we go on. But as you can see right here, this is a video of his property, or might I say his law firm, being raided by the police yesterday, and it was taken away. This man at the police force, this guy and the other one outside, Rapid Response Squad, Ekiti. I'm sure that must be one of his lawyers. But you can see this guy taking a phone away, and we can see the lawyer next being taken away. And now is Dele Farotimi right there being taken away by the police force. But when we see some things like this go on, the question is simple. Why? Why? Watching this video right now has a lot of questions going through your mind. Why does someone get arrested for defamation? Who is claiming in this instance to have been defamed? Well, look no further, guys. This whole issue started when Dele Farotimi produced or published this book called Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. Now, in this book right here, he made a lot of allegations, statements, pointing basically to Afe Babalola, SAN. I'll just add that for now, although we're going to go past this now. He was pointing towards Afe Babalola, SAN, saying that this man, Afe Babalola in question, had used his connections, his influence to subjugate or process or procure fraudulent judgment for his clients in the Supreme Court. To tell you how strong the allegation is, to tell you how strong the allegation is, said that Afe Babalola corrupted the Supreme Court to procure a fraudulent judgment in the service of his client, that his law firm procured a warrant to execute the said judgment by doctoring original judgments of the Supreme Court. Alright, that is what led Afe Babalola to get the police to pick this man up. This news says human rights lawyer and activist Dele Farotimi has been arraigned before a magistrate court in Ekiti, the capital of Ekiti State, over allegations of defaming the character of a renowned legal luminary, Afe Babalola, SAN. Farotimi, who was arrested in Lagos on Tuesday by the operatives of Ekiti State Police Command, arrived in court today. The activist is facing a 16-count charge of defamation stemming from allegations that he maligned Babalola's reputation in his recently published book titled Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. Now, we're going to go on to see a copy of the 16-count charge of defamation that has been filed against him. Of course, I'm not going to read through all of it, but you can take a picture right here and see what is being said, or what they plan, or what they are alleging that Dele Farotimi did. You see, guys, this right here is what is wrong with the legal system. This right here is what is wrong with Nigeria as a whole. Now, when we received the new NBA president, Afe Babalola, shout out to him, I made a video sending an open letter to him on how lawyers, when they feel they are bigger, use their power and influence to silence and oppress others. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, in case you want to ask Mr. Sly, you talk about relationship with lawyers, what do you know about lawyers? I was called to the Nigerian bar in 2018. I speak as someone who has seen the rot in our legal system for the past 6 years to know that there is a lot wrong with it. How a fellow lawyer will disregard the law? How a fellow lawyer will do this and will still say that the so-called NBA is there for the lawyers? Totally wrong. Totally wrong. This year is just to tell you the kind of nonsense we see in Nigeria. And I'm going to call out the NBA on this. Yes, I am going to call out the Nigerian Bar Association on this. Let me tell you, my problem with Nigerian Bar Association is this. This is the only thing they are good at. In that video where I published this, I said the NBA, all these guys do is to just simply elect themselves to office, take dues from you, organize dinner parties, and squander the rest. How about the interest of the average lawyer? Oh, they don't care about that. How about the interest of those lawyers who are going to be going through operation like this? What do? They simply release one letter saying, do not do this, do not do that. I'm going to say this again. Defamation is not a ground for you to procure the arrest of somebody. That is my answer to this. I don't care, because most people are going to say, Mr. Sly, Afe Babalola is an old lawyer. You shouldn't say defamation is not a ground to procure the arrest of a person. I'm going to take you to this case in court right here. This year is the case of Aviomo versus Commissioner of Police, 2021 at Supreme Court. Now, a brief history of this story is Femi Otedola procured the arrest of another man, claiming that the man had made some publications or statements that he considered to be defamatory. When this matter went up to the Supreme Court after all of the argument and whatnot, it was deemed that indeed criminalization of defamation is totally wrong. But the point I also want to point out to you here, right here, when one of the lawyers was arguing, he made a statement, which is one statement I've always stood by over time. This is what he said. He said, "My lord, the main purpose of criminal justice is to protect the interests of the public at large by punishing those guilty of crimes. A conviction for a crime is obtained by means of criminal prosecution, which is instituted by the state. A tort, T-O-R-T, a tort, on the other hand, is purely a civil wrong which gives rise to civil proceedings. Defamation in this case is the tort. Take note, guys. The purpose of such proceedings being not to punish wrongdoers, but rather to give the individual who feels he has been defamed damages for what he has suffered." Another important difference between tort and crime in Nigeria is that the entire criminal law has been codified in the Criminal Code of Southern State and Penal Code of the North, whereas law remains a crucial judicial precedent. Law of tort is a crucial judicial precedent modified here and there by statute. A tort may be defined as a civil wrong involving a breach of duty fixed by law, such duty being owed to persons generally, and its breach is simply redressable by actions for damages, not by arresting the person, not by calling the police to pick the person up, lock the person up, because from what I hear now, Dele Farotimi is going to be in custody till December 10th. Now, listen, this is what this man went on to say. He said, "The misuse of criminal law machinery for getting reliefs in dispute that are civil in nature has become rampant. And to tell you the truth, sometimes the filing of criminal proceedings is used as a bargaining chip to pressurize and threaten the defendant to enter into a settlement." Now, read that again. It's being used to pressurize and threaten the defendant to enter into a settlement. What we see right here is just Afe Babalola using the police to pressurize Dele Farotimi, to make him get into a statement with them. Maybe they're going to tell him, "Oh, go and retract your book or go and publish some letter of apology." This is the same thing VDM is going through in the hands of Falana. I see Falana coming out to call out Afe Babalola on this issue with Farotimi, but he should not be left out of this. He is a party to something like this as well. Now, while we're arguing of this case, one of the lawyers, as I also said, had gone on to break this down. I can't read all of this case for you, but I'll provide the link in the comment section. Now, what am I saying is this. You see, we can't keep this nonsense going on in Nigeria, where one person with more power utilizes their power for the sole purpose of getting what they want. We can't have a situation whereby one person keeps doing this nonsense in Nigeria because more money is in his pocket or he has more connections to put others in a state of constraint. This has to stop. I call and I call out, please free Dele Farotimi. Take your case to the civil court if you have a problem with somebody who defamed you. You do not have to call the police to settle civil matters. Free Dele Farotimi. I don't buy into this nonsense. I'm telling you. And then men people are really mad. Why? Because the Afe Babalola in question is a man of 95 years old. So at the age of 95, your major concern is how to deal with a person who wrote something in a book you don't like. Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting too much. I'm getting quite pissed. I don't want to go on about this matter. But I must say, this right here is a total disgrace. Dele Farotimi in his book called out the judicial system for nonsense like this. Called out Afe Babalola for nonsense like this. And guess who is living up to those things Dele Farotimi said? The same Afe Babalola. Doesn't that tell you that there actually might be some atom of truth to what Dele Farotimi was saying in that book? But if Afe Babalola is mad at what he wrote, take him to a civil court and settle this thing without using the police, like as if there are some messengers go and come. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you think. I am angry right now. No time to smile. It is what it is. I'm out.